had a really hard time taking me to some.
Yeah,
I know, it takes you to some other school districts.
yes, it
website.
does.
It's really frustrating.
Because when you, it's now, we get. If everybody could please stand and join in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good job, everybody.
Is it, how you pronounce your last name? You? B-I-O-E for the placement? Are we doing that first?
Yes.
Okay. First up tonight, we have an advanced placement. Before we can have any discussion on it, we have to have a motion and a second. Then we can do our discussion and presentation and all that.
Go ahead.
You're making a motion? Okay, thank you, Chris. And a second?
Second.
Thank you. All yours, Murphy.
Even better. She comes right off the field and still got her shin guards on, so she's tough and ready to give this information. So every year, we are very thorough and the student athletes do a wonderful job. What we do first, based on the New York State Department of Education, is that we follow their guidance and the board policy. So they will first go to committee in the fall. And the committee is involved with the guidance counselor and the physical education teacher, myself as the director, the principal, and the nurse. And we review the student athlete's physical, social, emotional well-being. And then if the committee approves, then the student athlete goes to the next phase, which the school medical director does a physical to make sure the student is well and healthy and strong to participate. And then from there does the fitness test. And then if they are a seventh grader playing JV, then they meet the Miss Sexton is the superintendent and have had a successful, wonderful JV season. And now that we're in postseason, would like to have the opportunity as a seventh grader to participate with the varsity as we head into regional championships this weekend. And then if fortunate to win on Saturday, we would go to the state tournament. So she's gonna tell you a little bit about her passion for field hockey, as well as some of her achievements and her talk about her position and you know, how she's gonna balance her schoolwork and all the things that she's done all season to get enough rest and to be with students who are older than her on the team. So if you need my help, just ask, but I'm sure you're ready and able to give your little presentation, okay? Introduce yourself.
I've been playing field hockey for about my whole life. I really enjoy it. It's part of like everything that I do. It's really just a place for me to be myself and just a place for me if I'm having a bad day to go and be able to just blow off steam. It's another place for me to be just myself. I handle my academics by participating in class. If I needed help, then I'd ask. I mainly either get my homework done in a study hall, or if I need to, then I do it after field hockey, once I get home.
What are some accolades and achievements that you've done on the field so far this week?
Just really hyping people up and giving 110%, whether it's the game or benefits, and just giving it my all, whether anything.
Can you share what positions that you played and if you've had any assists or goals or defensive moves or?
I've had, I think, 3 goals of the season. I've had at least 1 assist. I play left shooter or poster.
And in the JV games, you played, you know, almost 90% of the time, correct? And what's your desire if you have this opportunity to be at the varsity team? What's your hope for regional and state play?
It's being on varsity is a good accomplishment for me, and it's a good thing. It's a positive thing for me because it allows me to play against people that have better skills, so I can get better at my skills, and it just allows me to get a lot better at my skills.
And so one of the things that Ms. Sexton and I speak with the student athletes about support system. And you know, always having like a backup if you need someone to lean on. So who did you share with us that who's your support system?
My support system is my mom and my dad. Is just really like the coaches.
And is there someone on the team that you look up to, like a mentor on the team, the
Yeah.
girls?
I look up to Lauren, even though she's the goalie, I still look up to her. I look up to Ava Oliver, because she's just a big part of it. I look up to mainly all of the girls, but
So those are the two that kind of are mentors. So Coach Houston is here. Is there anything that you need to add or share in regards to her field hockey abilities?
She's more than able. I mean, she's a U14 Nexus Championship, went there as a 5th grader. So she's been there for 2 years. So 5th and 6th grade she went. So this year she goes Nexus. She's probably gonna make it back there, and she's very young to make it the first time, but she shows well down there at the national level for her age. So that she just brings back that talent here and really fits into our formation and what we're running, and at practice, she's like Ava and Lauren are her people. So like our upperclassmen this year, you know, we had 4 young ones, each took one, and they have worked with them throughout the season, and that's been like their check-in buddies all year. So that's been a bonus this year that we've had upperclassmen do that for our underclassmen, and that's really helped create the team chemistry and keep them actively involved, but also raise their standard of play because they hold each other accountable that way. So that's been asset that we've been able to incorporate with our young ones this year. So.
And the JV and varsity team has practiced all season together. So they are familiar with each other and they travel in the bus together to home and away games. So, you know, she has been exposed and acclimated into the climate and culture of the field hockey program all season. So does anybody have any questions?
Ava, what are your goals, as field hockey as part of your possible life path? What would you like to take from it?
My goals as to play in field hockey and to be moving forward is to just, really just get better at my skill and be able to play at a higher level.
When you say higher level, what's your goal?
Like to be able to play on varsity.
Anything beyond when you finish that accomplishment?
Just like being able to go back to Nexus, like Nikki said.
Good goals. Thank you.
I guess I just have a comment. I know athletically, that's usually not the biggest concern for a lot of us. I'm more concerned that possibly 6 years difference between somebody in 7th grade and a senior. I know that they travel together, but I'm always just concerned about a younger student being with a lot of older students socially, emotionally. So it's always a concern. And I know that it's looked at, but it's just something that always is a little concerning. And then I guess academically, how are you doing in school? And I mean, if you're already playing, you're already playing. So I should, that's probably not a problem.
I'm doing really good in school.
Your progress report was very favorable. And your grades, and you know, we haven't had a report card yet, but you know, her grade that we reviewed from last year, and you know, the guidance counselors are very good about telling the principals or myself if there's a student athlete in need and she doesn't fall on that radar at all. Thank you for working hard in the classroom.
And mom and dad, do you have any thoughts about how you feel about it?
Very small child. She did it for all, regardless of if it's on the field, academically, she was all rounded. We talked about the national team that she made. She's driven, and I really feel like she is more than deserving of this opportunity. She puts in a lot of hard work.
I have one more question for Nikki. Just in Gardens, I know she's a young athlete and she'll be going up to the team. Just making sure that if the opportunity presents itself, she'll definitely get to be on the field, but if it doesn't, that the athlete understands she's there to learn and grow and maybe not be on the field.
Yes, that is clearly specified to all the student athletes at this level that we bring up, that you're allowed for the ride, if you're gonna step on the field, that's a bonus.
And the ride is so important. Thank you, Nikki.
And I guess just one last thing. This is gonna be way harder than any game you're ever gonna play the rest of your life, having to come in front of all these people.
Absolutely.
You did such a wonderful job. I appreciate that. And that's commendable. So thank you.
Do any of the other board members?
Here's what I found.
Excuse me, sorry. Yeah. Siri always likes to interrupt. Yeah. All that being said, is everybody ready to vote? All those in favor? Any opposed? Any abstain? Congratulations.
Yep.
Good luck to the entire team this weekend.
Know where my passion is.
Okay. Ms. Schwager.
Mr. Hadford, right, about. You're All right, hi everyone, I'm Gracie Schwager, I'm the CEA math interventionist. And with me, I brought 7 incredible 3rd graders. I have Eliana Godfrey here, Reagan Dunham, Abel Leach, Grace Crayley, Mia Hand, Bo Riley, and Ian Swagler. So we're here to talk to you and show you about math and movement. Before we give you a great demonstration of what math and movement looks like, I'd like to give you just a little bit of background info about what math and movement is. So math and movement is a kinesthetic, multisensory approach to teaching multiplication facts that incorporates physical activity in colorful floor mats like the one below. the students chose to bring the nines map today. Math and Movement was founded by Susie Kuntz. She's actually from our area. She's from Ithaca. And she actually created Math and Movement based on her own daughter who struggled learning her facts and struggled learning how to skip count. One day her daughter was jumping on the trampoline and finally she was able to skip count and say her multiplication facts. So that's what these mats incorporate is movement and jumping to help students learn their multiplication facts. So how did Math and Movement come about at the CEA? So my building principal, Erin, let me know about a free professional development opportunity at the Ithaca Learning Center at the end of last school year. I attended this 2-day intensive training in June of last school year, and I received these free skip counting mats for attending. So I got the 3s, 4s, 6s, 7s, 8s, and 9s. So we actually had a second grade class come into that training. And the second graders at the end of June were able to master their 3s facts after the 2-day training with us. So I thought, how great would it be for all of our 3rd graders to start doing Math and Movement for the first 6 weeks of school. Every 3rd grader was able to participate in Math and Movement to help them learn facts before the year even began, essentially. So being able to recall the products of 1-digit numbers from memory is one of 3rd grade's essential standards. The essential standard is listed there. So our goal was to provide a new, innovative, and highly engaging Tier 1 intensive program to all 3rd graders to help them master this essential standard. So you all were given this slide beforehand, so I'm not going to read off this slide. I'm just going to show you some pictures of what it looks like at the CEA. So the first thing that we did, we did a number over the course of 4 days. So for example, we started with the 3s and we did the 3s over 4 days. The first day, the kids took a pre-test. The pre-test looked similar to what you see on the right. It was a list of 30 facts, and the students had to see how many facts they could complete in 1 minute. So that was before they did any work with the mats. Then we brought out the mat. So we would bring out the 3s mat. And the students would sit next to the mat and take a look at what they noticed and what was different from all the mats we've done before. There's also cool pictures next to the numbers that actually mean something. And then after we noticed and looked at everything on the mat, we then stood up and hopped and jumped and chanted these numbers, which you'll see soon. And then students were able to practice independently in their notebooks. And Reagan actually brought our notebooks that we used in Math and Movement. So she just wanted to share with you all what our notebooks looked like. So after we were done chanting and solving facts together as a whole group, the students would go get their notebooks and solve some facts on their own using the mat however they wanted. So Reagan, do you want to show them what that looks like?
This is what one of the pages in our notebooks looked like. My favorite part was seeing how quickly I could complete one page. I loved completing the pages so much that I've been working on finishing the book on my own at my house.
Cool, nice.
Yeah, so Reagan was very competitive with this. She wanted to see how she was constantly coming up to me and saying, can you check me a picture? And they were always all correct. And then she would get what I'm about to show you next. She would get a sticker to go put up on her brag board. Each student had a chart in my classroom hung up on the wall. And it was a brag board. It was anonymous. So each student was it was labeled as a number instead of their name. And the students would go up and they'd place a sticker on their brag board each time they finished one of their pages. And Allie actually brought her brag board to share with you guys.
This is what one of the brag boards looks like. So I had over 50 pictures on my brag board, which means I completed over 50 pages of multiplication facts. The total number was 52 stickers on here, so that means I completed 52 pages of my book.
Yeah.
Nice.
52 pages. Incredible. All right. So that brings me to the next slide where we would love to show you what this looks like. So my 3rd graders are going to stand on each side of the mat. All right, so we always began with giving each other a beat so that when we were hopping, we were staying consistent to the beat. Are you ready? Maybe on your
9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90.
9.
9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90.
Awesome. Very cool. Take a seat. So as you can see, as we continued saying this and as each student went, it really got ingrained into our brains and the movement definitely helps with that. So our third graders also wanted to show you how we used the math to solve some of these facts. So Bo, could you please show everybody how to solve 4 times 9 using this math?
1, 2, 3, 4,
Bo, what's 4 times 9?
36.
Can everyone say 4 times 9 is 36?
4 times 9 is 36.
Say 9 times 4 is 36.
9 times 4 is 36.
Great. Peyton, show everybody how to solve 5 times 9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Peyton, what's 5 times 10?
45.
Everyone say 5 times 9 is 45.
5 times 9 is 45.
9 times 5 is 45.
9 times 5 is 45.
Great. Ellie, do you want to show everyone how to solve 6 times 9?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Ellie, what's 6 times 9?
54.
Everyone say 6 times 9 is 54.
6 times 9 is 54.
Say 9 times 6 is 54.
9 times 6 is 54.
Great. Megan, 8 times 9.
Lots of jumps.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Megan, what's 8 times 9?
72.
Everyone say 8 times 9 is 72.
8 times 9 is 72.
Say 9 times 8 is 72.
9 times 8 is 72.
Grace, please solve 9 times 9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
What's 9 times 9, Grace? Everyone say 9 times 9 is 81.
9 times 9 is 81.
All right, we have some brave third graders who want to show you some tricky facts that we've solved. Mia, can you please show everyone how to solve 11 times 9?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11.
So Mia, what is 9 times 11?
99.
How did you do that? How do you know? There's not a 9 on the map.
I put 90 and 9 together makes 9.
That's amazing. So she did 10 times 9, which is 90. Then she needed one more group of 9. She added it together to get 99. Awesome. And Abel solved 12 times 9.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12.
Okay, Abel, what's 12 times 9?
108.
Hey, how'd you do that?
I added 90 plus 10 plus 8.
Yeah. Right, so he said he did 90 plus 10 plus 8, so he took it a step further and he broke apart 18 into 10 and 8 so that it was easier to add 90 plus 18, which is
108.
all right, you guys did an amazing job. You can go back to your seat. All right, so our third graders showed some really great progress and really great growth. So Susie Kuhn says, as long as your students are showing 100% growth, that's what we're going for, right? She's like, usually all my students, whoever does math and movement, they show 100% growth. Well, our kids, our 51 students who took a pre-test and the 51 students who took the post-test, they showed 132% growth altogether. So we started at knowing 1,931 facts before we did any work with our floor mats, and those are the facts we knew in 1 minute with our 3s, our 4s, our 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s. And then when we took our post-test with these 51 students, they knew 4,481, which is awesome for us. All right, before we finish up, there's just a few more third graders who wanted to share some thoughts. Bo, what do you want to share about math and movement?
One thing I loved about math and movement was that we got to sit wherever we wanted and stand and lay on the floor wherever we wanted to.
Yeah, so they had free reign to sit, stand, hop, lay, however they wanted to complete their work. Awesome, Bo. Abel, what's something you want to share about math and movement?
Mrs. Jogger helped us learn fun ways to remember our facts.
Awesome. Grace, you want to share something? Okay, run.
My favorite part about math is that we put in a sticker each time we were using notebook. I also like that we learned a new number every day.
Awesome.
Well,
Maybe
they
would
were
you like
smelly
to share?
stickers. They were good ones.
My favorite part about math and movement was that we were able to practice our facts in a fun way and learn them quickly.
Awesome. All right, thank you all for being brave. Mia, you're passing, it's okay.
Yeah.
You want to share? Okay, come on up.
Nice. Good job, Mia.
My favorite part about math and movement was that Miss Parker made learning my patience fun. That's fun.
Nice job.
Thank you. All right, so that brings us to the end, right? Everybody shared. Okay, so thank you for allowing us to share about math and movement. It has been so fun doing this with our third graders, and I think it's something that we'll continue to do throughout the years as we continue on. Do you all have questions?
I just-
Interject before you ask.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to, thank the district and the leadership, at the CEA and Gracie, because I had the good fortune to work with the health department last year in my role as wellness, and they had the grant, but they also kept encouraging us to connect with Susie from Ithaca to do math and movement, and without the district support and the CEA leadership, we would never have this come, and have all this magic with the students. And it's just really amazing how, we can do wellness while learning, and we can really incorporate it into our content and curriculum. And it really helps the kids be deep critical thinkers and have that kinesthetic memory from movement that comes with math. So thank you so much, Gracie, for taking on that, because she's the one that took the initiative to went to the professional development that we were offered through that grant opportunity.
Is it gonna be available again this year?
Gotta find out for you, Chris.
There are definitely more opportunities.
Yeah.
I just don't know if they're.
I've already relayed this great information on what I've already noticed with my students with the 4th and 5th grade teachers, so now they're excited and they would like to attend.
Keep the momentum. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it's like, because, I mean, it rolls over into the classroom, we're still doing this type of thing, we're singing the facts and just the growth from just this year compared to years past, and the excitement, it's like, if we don't have 5 minutes to do the fact, they get mad at me and they're like, are we gonna do facts today? And I'm like, well, I don't know, we have to go do this or that. Well, they get upset because they're so excited about it, so they love it and their learning is just amazing. So, I think it's great.
Good job.
Yeah.
I just have a couple of comments, which is thank you, students, for coming in.
Yep.
We see a lot of presentations, but I have to tell you that any presentation that involves the students, and you guys are the ones who have to do this, and seeing your enthusiasm is fabulous for us. We love it. So thank you for coming in, even though I'm sure you guys felt
a little uneasy about doing it. We don't bite. And Mrs. Schrager, thank you for spearheading this after doing your training, because I think it's fabulous, because as one of your students said, being able to sit, hop, jump, lay down, whatever that student feels in that moment, I think that's wonderful that they have that opportunity while they're learning, instead of like when I did math facts, it was pretty boring. You sat at your desk and you had flashcards and you had to do them by yourself and you couldn't sing or dance or hop or skip. So thank you.
Yes, thank you.
You got a parent who wants to say.
That's
I just want to say thank you. It's hard for me because I didn't have teachers like this.
Yeah.
I remember 8 times 8, 64.
Not me either.
yeah.
In math, I can't.
Yeah.
My kid, that's a huge achievement. Yeah, I know he struggled certainly. But the memorization up there. So I
Yep.
just say thank you.
That's great. Thanks for sharing.
I ditto you, because I probably was 50 before I knew what 9 times 9 was.
We can come anytime.
I was getting ready to get up and start hopping. I really was.
It's a lot more fun than flashcards.
Absolutely. I have to ask the students a question. So one of the first thing I noticed on your thing, and I want to know how fast you figured this point out. One of you share with me. I know you were saying like 6 times 9 and 9 times 6. When you started doing your assessments and get your assessments done faster, how fast would you go and look on the assessment to find the opposite fast? Like to be able to answer it.
Do I answer, Ellie?
Like you could find the 9 times 6 and 6 plus 9 and you gave the answer really fast.
So is that part of your guys' strategy? Like when you did your pre and your post test? I always told you, look for the ones you know first,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, we times 0, we all, straight away that anytime times 0 is 0, and anything times 1 is the other number.
Yep.
And some of us know like the times 2 because those are our double.
There we go.
Also, some people know like they're 10 because it's just adding a 0. And like for the 9, it was easier because it's like 9 times 4, which we already learned. And so we know that easier.
Because we did our 4.
And
Right.
the finger trick.
And the
Oh yeah, and the finger trick. The finger trick is you put up the fingers and like for 9 times 6, you put away 6 finger and you always have to have 9 fingers.
Yeah.
Then you do 54.
There you go.
That's how I learned it.
Yeah.
My finger trick was, okay, I know 18 and then you go 1, 2, 3.
Yep, exactly.
Add 9 more with your fingers.
Oh, sure.
This is the
Yeah, so sometimes I come up with funny things. I don't remember.
This is 8 times 8. Oh yeah, so it's we ate and we ate and we ate some more, and we threw up on the floor. 8 times 8 is 64.
Nice job. Nice job.
And then on paper it says like 5.
Yeah, so 7 times 8 is 56. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think 48.
I love it. 6 and 4.
Nice job. You're a lot smarter than I was in 3rd grade, and I went to.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
That-
Yeah.
That is so much more fun to watch that than people really sweating it out in classes.
Yep.
Oh, we-
Play with fun, that's exactly what we should be doing.
And thank you again for coming and showing us your enthusiasm.
I don't know if I've ever been this happy this late into a board meeting. I've been here a long time.
Have a good night, folks. Do we have the need for an executive session?
I think I can just. No.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
With all the personalities.
Good night.
No.
Night.
Yeah.
There are still some math facts I have to count for.
Quick count.
Yeah.
Oh, no one's empty. Okay, so there is not a need for an executive session at the moment. Correspondence, there is none. And policy discussion.
Yes, so I'm going to give you some homework.
Were they downers?
Can we make up rhymes?
You can make a board to jump on. You can sing songs. So, you can see up on the top there, that we have a whole slew of safety policies. And they all are from 1991.
I don't think our safety concerns have changed.
Yeah, and guess what? You know, the regulations, the laws have changed since then. So, and you know that every year we have to have a safety plan and a safety hearing, and that has to be reviewed every year now. In that safety plan, all of the things outlined in these policies are in there and have to be updated annually. So, what I'm proposing is if for you to look through these policies, note the things that are in them, and then look at the school safety plan. It's just a bulleted list of all the things that are incorporated in our school safety plan that we review every year. And just make sure there's nothing that we haven't addressed in those bullets. What the school safety plan policy says is that we're going to do a school plan each year. It's going to be comprehensive. It's going to include all those areas. And then all of this doesn't matter. The other policy that I'd like you to take note of is that we also have the workplace violence prevention policy, which also addresses some of the things that are in these old policies that are here. For the most part, the newer policies, the one that's recommended by Erie one that I've given you here, and in our workplace violence policy, we try to get away from things that might be changed by new regulations or laws. And so the language tends to be just around coming up with comprehensive plans, making sure that we're abiding by regulation and law, and we're reviewing our practices, instead of specifically, like you'll see, the fire drills, and that's all wrong. None of that is correct. And
This is wrong.
no, right, there's all kinds of things. And even things like the communication, that changes from time to time. Like you have to be able to communicate. You have to communicate with your safety and security partners in the community. You have to communicate with families, but the method in which you do that is going to change, and it's going to continue to change moving forward. So, again, if you could take some time to look, that I'm going to follow with an email to you to give these to you electronically also. And then if we can just do what we've been doing, and if you have any things that you notice that you think are significant, or that maybe that was missed, that you're wondering about, we can do that via email, so that before we come back to first reading, we can have it tidied up.
Just remember, if you do send something out that you have questions on or thoughts, say Michelle sends out something, don't everybody else reply to it, because then we're having a discussion. And it's not an open meeting. So, but it's good for us to hear everybody else's views.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then if I can say, you know, this was pointed out, and maybe you might say to me, can you look into this, or can you research that? Can you make sure that we're okay with, you know, not having this in a policy? Then I can respond to the group and just let everybody know that, like with the FYI.
Yep.
Okay.
But it never hurts to remind people that we can't just start chatting back and forth via
Right,
email.
yep. Okay.
Is that the only
Well, that's kind of a lot. I actually. have
Well,
another
no,
one,
I
but
know,
I
but
thought,
I'm
let's
just
do
saying.
this one at a time, so.
Just making sure.
Yep, and then so the intent would be for first, that we come back for first reading and next meeting, and then we'll have another little cluster for discussion next.
Okay.
Okay,
So Joanne, basically, we're thinking about taking those, collapsing them to the one, the
Right.
Erie. But if we feel like one of them shouldn't be collapsed, that it needs to be on its own, we can make that decision then.
yeah, you could send that to me and then, I can, if it's something simple, I potentially we can add that into this
Okay.
more comprehensive plan. But I think just trying to stay away from
Yeah.
listing this
Listing
many
things, right.
drills, this
Yeah.
many, this mode of communication, and keeping it more general is the best plan.
Especially your expense or even thinking about changing the drill stuff.
Right.
anyhow, so, yeah.
And it's always nice to have one-stop shopping instead of having to read through all of those
Right.
policies.
And you can see that none of these are required policies.
Hmm.
None of these are required
Yeah.
policies.
No, I would assume you wouldn't ask us to
No.
remove required
Right.
policies.
Yeah.
Okay, there are no policies for first reading. There are no policies for second reading. That brings us to the first opportunity for comments from the public. Just some guidelines. Each speaker will be limited to a maximum of 3 minutes and the entire public comment period to a maximum of 30 minutes. This may be waived by a majority vote of the board. The board requests that each speaker stand, state their name, residency, and topic of discussion. By law, the board will not permit any public statements regarding individual students or employees. Please be advised that while the board takes public comment very seriously, we are not allowed to comment or respond during the meeting, as this is our opportunity to hear from our stakeholders. Items brought to the attention of the board will be taken under consideration for future responses or action, or the proper staff member will get back to you at the appropriate time. Is there anybody who would like to speak at this time? Okay. That brings us to student board member report.
Accommodation.
Yeah, commendation.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's, yep. I
Need to breathe for just a little bit.
You're off the hook for a minute.
Sorry. Okay, commendation.
Are we ready?
Yeah.
All right, the Whitney Point Marching Band and Color Guard for their performance in the Columbus Day Tournament of Bands in Binghamton. And I would like to say I was very happy because the weather was not looking good, but turned out okay. Nobody got wet. High school senior volleyball player Billy Leet for being named the athlete of the week for sports WBNG Sports 12, being recognized for her 1,000 career kills. We gonna play?
Oh, did you click?
Oh,
no.
Sorry.
Congratulations, Ellie. Okay, and the Whitney Point entire varsity volleyball team, Coach Vacone and Coach Ellerson for their IAC League Large School. I always think it's funny that we're the large school. Championship win on Friday, October 24th. They've had an incredible season and it's Oneonta next, right? Is that where you're playing Thursday night? So congratulations. Whitney Point High School and BOCE CTE student Cadence Benefield for presenting with her classmates at the New York State Association for Career and Technical Education Administrators Annual Leadership Conference on October 24th. That wasn't easy and she did a great job. Mrs. Cook and the high school student council for a successful trunk or treat held on October 29th. Whitney Point and Triangle Fire Departments for visiting the CEA to talk to students about fire safety during Fire Safety Week. Mrs. D'Antonio, Mrs. Prokop, faculty, staff, and students for a wonderful Halloween parade on Friday, October 31st. And the Whitney Point varsity field hockey team, Coach Houston and Coach Montesano for their Section 4 Class C championship win on Saturday, November 1st. Okay. Lots of celebrations.
Very nice.
And now, Billy. We're on.
I'll start with what's going on, really good. With the trunk or treat last Wednesday, NHS 3 council and community service helped out. And we had a lot of fun. Drama clubs all play is you can't take it with you. November 21st and 22nd, so you can say about that. Field hockey played Monday tonight, and we'll be playing Thursday, and we'll be playing Thursday. Spirit weeks were a hit this year. A lot of people participated, especially at Halloween. SAD is raising money for active song. We're starting to donations from the community for that. And we brought back with the local police, bring back the drunk goggles and the paintbrush. And then the student voice committee had a very good meeting last Wednesday. They talked about trying to bring back Eagle Time during Wednesdays, like the fun activities for clubs and things like that. They brought up the concern of the brand of tampons for women in our locker rooms and bathrooms. A lot of they want to incorporate more recharging activities throughout classrooms, more hands-on, and shifting on what is good from the students and finding rewarding opportunities for the students.
And do you want to just mention too that, we've got a Board of Ed, Student Board of Ed advisory group that's going to be meeting with the other principals, and they had a lot of good ideas. Do you want to talk a little bit about your ideas for ever?
Yeah, thinking about doing a day in the life with CEA TRA kids and taking maybe half a day or after school to just go talk with them and kind of see how they move in their classrooms and how everybody is doing at school.
I went to the New York State School Board Association conference this last week or 2 weeks ago. And I went to an actual session that talked about how school districts are trying to make sure that their student reps are involving middle school and elementary school. And I think that's a really great idea. And they had some other really, really great ideas that I'd love to talk to the advisory board and Joanne about some possibilities about how to build a student leadership body. Of Buffalo, which is a pretty big school district, but how they've been doing it for 10 or 15 years. So they've got a lot of progress that they've done so far. So I thought they had some really great ideas about getting student leaders out of 3rd grade and 4th grade and 5th grade and giving children opportunities that our high school student leaders can help sort of mentor. So I'd love to meet with all of you and show you what I saw at the conference. It was really exciting. Thanks.
Thanks, Billy.
Anything else?
No.
Okay, thank you very much.
Can I just say one more thing? The recharging activities has come up twice now. Is there any way you know a little bit more about that? Are students just feeling like they want something like this in high school, like we saw, versus just sitting there in the chairs?
I know some people talk about doing more
kind of group activities, even if it's with like smaller work and things like that, just to, instead of like lecture, I think I want to kind of learn that. I can look into like more different ideas.
Yeah, I'd really like, as a board member, I'd like to know more what we can do to help with
Well,
that.
I mean, so I'll tell you, like, that always comes up, all the way down to elementary school. Move, move, move. We want to
Right.
move. And then, just having things that make what we're learning seem relevant to life in the real world. I
Right.
mean, those are always themes. And so after that student voice committee met, then there actually was a faculty meeting. And so some of these things they're talking about at the faculty meetings also to figure out how we can incorporate more
Great.
movement. And there's teachers always feel the pressure to get through the content.
Right.
And so we have to try and shift some minds. And actually, there's a lot of potential for change moving forward. We're going to have a presentation coming up from Portrait of the Graduate. That's what that's all about, really, so it's kind of an exciting time to think that maybe some of the things that have made people feel like they gotta move through the curriculum may change a little bit.
Yeah.
And so, so there's a lot of possibilities.
And that might just be a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, because it's like, yes, it's important that they do the learning, but there are other things too that are important in addition. And I think that being able to get up and move and instead of sitting for however long a period is, and some classes are longer than one period. And I know that for me, it was a constant issue of trying not to fall asleep. But then again, I can fall asleep while I'm talking. So that's, but keep us posted. And thank you very much.
Thanks, Billy.
Thank you very, very much.
Congratulations again.
Yeah,
That's really
that's pretty impressive. Okay, so there is no old business. That brings us to the consent agenda. May I have a motion.
So moved.
Thank you, Chris. And a second? Thank you, Benny. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Okay, new business. The appointment of Stephen Dennison, maintenance mechanic, effective November 10th, 2025. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Tom. And a second?
Second.
Thank you, Chris. Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? The appointment of.
Sorry for 1 second.
Yes.
So you're not gonna probably know this, but you were just in the consent agenda, Deirdre. Yes, so you're just approved. So Deirdre's.
Deirdre would like to say.
Yeah, she's gonna be assistant coach for wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, would you like to say something?
No, I don't.
Congratulations.
That is one of the things with the consent agenda is the reason why they're on there is we don't have any discussion on them and it's to help streamline our night because you can see how many items are on there. And if we had to go through each one, it makes our meeting much longer and it means that we don't have as much discussion on things that we need to have discussion on. So,
It'd be great to discuss you and your enjoyment of having to be coach, but the juice bids, we're fine with giving them on.
well, it's the bread bits.
And
Yeah.
cheese bids.
But so it was not meant as a slight to you and not wanting you. It's just that, but thank you very much for
Thank you
bringing
for
that up.
coming too.
Yeah. It's nice to see other people at our meetings. Not that we don't want our administrators here, but you know what I mean. Right. Yeah, maybe not. This makes it more interesting. Okay, so Casey St. John as temporary Stronger Connections grant funded position, student success teacher, effective October 20th, 2025. May I have a motion? Thank you, Aubrey. And a second?
Second.
Thank you, Benny. Can you just give us a really quick, short blurb on what a student success teacher?
So you may remember that we were awarded a 3-year grant for it's called Stronger
Mhm.
Connections that we applied for this grant. It was actually a lot of money. And then they didn't release it for a really long time. So we pretty much lost the entire we did lose the entire first year. So we have really just 2 years of funding, and the whole idea, it's under the umbrella of dropout prevention. So it's secondary students, and we have teacher, teaching assistant, coordinators, and a counselor working, and they're just like doing whatever it takes to try and figure out what's getting in the way of student success. So the teachers do a lot of just intensive tutoring with kids and helping them catch up and helping them, like sometimes kids get overwhelmed because they're behind, and so they just like sit down with them, figure out, all right, let's do this together. Let's let's do some goal setting. We'll do the work together. I'll get you started, and then do a little bit of gradual release. So we have student success centers, both in the TRA and in the high school. And because they're grant funded positions, they're kind of hard to fill. But so we have some of our recent graduate, well, actually they're not recent, they're college graduates now, but they, haven't found their permanent, pathway yet. And we're taking advantage of that. And so we're really happy, and they're doing a great job and working really hard.
And they have the advantage with the students who they're helping of saying, I've been here.
Yeah.
Recently, I went here.
No, it's going really, really well.
Okay. Thank you.
We wish it didn't have to end.
Okay, any questions?
Thanks for asking that, because I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, oh, what was that again?
Yeah.
I mean, I remembered,
know
but
what
it's
it is,
just,
but I wanna-
yeah, it was good to hear what they're gonna be focused on,
Yeah.
so. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Okay, Owen Dunham for the same grant-funded position, starting October 20th, 2025. May I have a motion. Thank you, Tom. And a second?
Second.
Thank you, Michelle. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Any opposed? Any abstain? The appointment of Summer Green, term substitute teacher effective for the second term of 2025-2026 school year. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Chris. And a second?
Second.
Thank you, Aubrey. Any questions or comments?
So Summer was going to work with us. We had an opening in secondary special ed, that's always very challenging. And she was doing her student teaching placement. So she got her internship certificate, and she was going to work the first term because that's when she's done with her master's program. And she was only going to commit. So we appointed her for the first term at a previous meeting, but she loves it so much, even though she's not from the area, she decided to stay, and she's doing a great job. So we're happy.
Nice. Maybe we have a recruit for next year.
I hope so.
Any questions from the board? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? We have equipment for disposal. And these are going to be recycled, correct? Okay. So APC Symetra RM 6KVA to 6KVA server, and APC Symetra RM 4UX run frame server. May I have a motion.
So moved.
Thank you, Chris. And a second? Thank you, Benny. Any questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? And there's an attached equipment list for disposal at computer systems asset disposal. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Chris. And a second?
Second.
Thank you, Michelle. Any questions or comments?
For a lot could not be fixed.
Sometimes it gets to that point.
Yeah, but there's certain things that they can't quite get to.
I did appreciate the fact that they, you know, truly dispose of them appropriately. So that not only is data maintained, but also, you know, safely taken care of, but also that it doesn't end up in the landfill. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Unit cost methodology. This is from BOCES and it's their proposal for BOCES services 2026 to 2027. May I have a motion?
I'll move.
Thank you, Tom. And a second?
Second.
Thank you, Chris. Any questions or comments?
They're slipping big time.
Yeah, they were aware. I guess they changed systems and they couldn't generate the same report they did before. They struggled, and actually what happened was the one lady physically went through and.
I see there was a couple of things added.
But I'm hoping this gets better next year, but I don't know why. You think they get a better system, it would be a better report, but it does have the content there that it's requested.
They probably would do it if other boards were really worried and asked for it, so.
Yeah, I was very disappointed to see it this year as well.
Yeah, and sometimes it's not a question of that they can't get the report, but that you have to build the report and there may not have been time to do so between when they change systems and now.
Yeah, hopefully that's the case.
Well, you know, let's look at it positively, you know?
Finding the way they printed it out. It's like,
Yeah.
wow.
That's why I on every level, I was like, oh, come on, if I have to read this, which I said a long time ago, if I gotta read this, you better make it worth me having to read this.
Yeah.
It's not you guys,
No,
but
I know.
No, but maybe you can express Tom's disappointment in the.
Just tell them
That
they
is the-
gotta do better.
Yeah. Hopefully, yeah, next year it will be better.
yeah,
Okay, any other questions? All those in favor? Any opposed? Any abstain? Extra,
Do you want to talk about the trailing Arwada or change? They care? No?
I mean, we're gonna have them come out and talk about their administrative and capital budget prior to the next board meeting. That's a good spot where you can ask any of those types of questions.
okay.
They don't want to- It's a question of.
What's that?
No.
Love about day, yeah. Okay, this is for approval of the extra classroom corrective action plan addressing the June 30th, 2025 extra classroom audit report. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you, Chris. And a second? Thank you, Benny.
This was better this year, right?
Yeah. it was
Yeah.
only one
A lot better,
finding, so,
yeah, right.
yeah, super good.
So it's good.
Nice short letter.
Agreed, one pager, we like
Yep.
it.
Any questions from the board? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Superintendent's update.
So the first thing, I just wanted to note that we did get the proclamation to congratulate you for last month. So I don't know if you read it, but I'm going to read part of it to you. Whereas New York State has one of the best public education systems in the nation, comprised of 731 school districts overseen by more than 700 school boards, whose members are educational leaders in the community, determining policies that govern their local school systems and providing guidance for statewide school systems that serve nearly 2.7 million of New York State's children. And whereas our state's public schools consistently maintain high standards so as to best meet the educational needs of all children and to empower them to become informed, productive contributors to society and in an ever-changing world. And whereas we recognize the role of the school board is partnering with school administrators and educators to provide students with a safe and healthy learning environment and ensure optimum opportunities for intellectual and personal growth. And whereas members of the school boards are committed to serving the children and the schools of our communities and devote many hours to elementary and secondary public education as they continually strive for improvement, excellence, and progress in education. recognizing that all children can be successful learners, and whereas these dedicated individuals are strong advocates for public education and are responsible for communicating the needs of the school district to the public and the public's expectation to the district by working closely with parents, educational professionals, and other community members, the governor recognizes that you are hugely contributing members, and congratulations on School Board Recognition Week. I think it's like, you deserve way more than a week. It is an incredible job, and I really don't think that people realize that you give of your time to do this. So I just wanted to say thank you, and to just take a minute to note that the governor, she's telling it like it is. It's hugely important, and it's very much appreciated.
It's a labor of love.
Yes. Okay, and just want a couple of other things. So the federal shutdown, there's a lot of questions, a lot of concerns. What does that mean for our school district? What does that mean for our community? Obviously, over the weekend when there was a lot of concern about SNAP payments, and now they're delayed and only going to be partial this month. All the districts are just sort of putting information out to families about resources in the region, but there's a lot of concern that there's just really not going to be enough. So just so our social workers and everybody in our buildings are, trying to make sure that we get family connected wherever need be. We do have partnerships with churches and other organizations right in our community, and we do have the pantry in the TRA, but actually the governor, I've told these guys this, but the governor contacted the district superintendents and to have a meeting with the superintendents to say, what can she do to give us what we need to fill the gap for the lack of SNAP payments? And we're like, it is so vast. I mean, there's no way. I mean, like, it is so huge. I mean, what the governor can do is find the funds to fund SNAP.
Yeah, right.
So, so we're really hoping that this shortfall this month is just this month, and somehow we're going to limp through that it is addressed certainly by next month. We also have a lot of concern. So in whatever ways that you have connections, working with legislators or through school boards association, the longer the shutdown lasts, agencies that we work with are dependent on federal funds. Our partners and our pre-K partners are also dependent on federal funds. We can't make up those differences. I mean, it's very devastating. In the long term, our food programs in our school is federally funded.
Yeah.
And then also in the long term, we have many positions that are directly federally funded. So it's very, very concerning. And I hope that, the only thing that I would say is that and what I say to everybody is that it's not just us.
Right.
So, it would impact everybody. And I have to believe that those who we elect are going to pay attention to their constituents across the country. And, not let this continue that long so that that fallout comes, to fruition. But I think it's important to speak up and make sure that the needs of public schools and families in those communities are recognized.
Get rid of all of them and send our third graders.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All of them, get rid of them all.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else?
Well, some people here are going to be speaking at a conference on Friday on a panel. You want to speak to that?
Oh, today and Friday?
Just say it. Let the rest of the board know.
That's good. Just let us know what you're doing.
Today and Friday.
For your friends, it should be easier here.
Yes, we were invited to go to a Let Us Dream conference at BU and speak on the education panel.
About a program that we participated in for to improve community engagement in schools. So about what we went through, our specific roles in it, and we've got questions assigned to us.
So both Michelle and Aubrey are part of the Family Engagement
Engagement.
Counselor. And we had a year-long training last year and and we have other people also who are not sitting on the board. But it was a really great process and it was really meaningful and, Lauren can speak to it also. A lot of changes have been made in the CEA already, and we're working on other changes there, but it's really interesting that we think that we have great partnerships, that we think that we're listening to families. And I have to tell you this, Tom, like,
I know that's running through my head. the whole time.
No, I think that those are their like aha moments that when you said that first time that I ever met Tom was at the TRA and we had some kind of family thing and it was like not at an opportune time. And he spoke up, as Tom does, and let us know that if you really want families to be involved, then how about having it at a time when families can be involved? And it was the same kind of thing that happened over the course of last year, that we always think that we do a lot of communication and we have, we build good relationships with families, but when families tell us what their experience is like or what they need or what they want, wow, we're really missing the mark. So it was a great learning experience again last year, and we've made lots of changes and we're continuing to work on that. And we have 2 board members who were part of that process and continue to be working with us moving forward.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a federally funded program too, isn't it? Out of the.
They lost the funding.
They lost
It's
the
done.
funding.
Yeah, it
It's
got
done.
cut.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think it was a really good program that we were able, like just Whitney Point as a whole, were able to be a part of, because not all families can speak up like that at an opportune time, but Joanne put together a really good group of people that everyone heard each other out, and I think a lot of benefit came out of just the time that we had set aside. And it was really, really important.
So will it discontinue totally with us? Or are we?
I mean, we're working on our own now, but there was something about that was really nice. And again, that's like, money's not everything, but there was something about going someplace else and being away from here and like having time set aside. And, there was like a light dinner that was provided. It just it gave you like the space. Yeah. It was a nice experience.
We'll have fun. Enjoy.
Yeah.
I'll do better on Friday.
I think you did fine.
I have a lot of faith in you and I appreciate you guys doing it. I do. No, really, thank you. I appreciate it. Seriously.
And then also just to note the beautiful artwork behind you.
It's
Thank you.
incredible,
Yeah.
as always. Okay, that brings us to our second opportunity for comments from the public. Again, the guidelines that I read for the first opportunity are the same for the second. Would anybody like to speak up at this time? Okay. Board of Education comments.
I have some fun stuff. So the conference was great. One of the things is, and I can't remember his name now, but he spoke the very first day and he spoke on why school boards matter. And he has a brand new book out. It's a nice short book. It's really cool. And the comments and stuff that he has going on was really good. And I thought it might be something we could do as a board together. I was gonna get a copy of it and see what Joanne thought. And just, what we do, it matters how we do it. And I thought it might be a nice little book read. Maybe we could do as a board.
What's the name of the book?
Why school boards matter.
Well, I mean, I know that was a topic,
I
but
just
that
can't remember the author right now. That's the sad part, because I have my name memory. But then the other one, we had great, I really encourage you, the next 2 ones are gonna be in Buffalo. Going to Buffalo is an easier thing we might have fun with, because I can usually get Airbnbs. We can affordably do it and not spend so much on a hotel room. But that's what I did last time. The other speaker was Tim Shriver, and he did what's called the Dignity Index. Absolutely amazing. He spoke on it, and then we had a training on it. And I'm investing some time to learn it. Another thing that we might want to share with others, they have an elementary now Dignity Index. So it's how you speak and what you say and to raise, and he has like 8 scales and you can judge yourself. I can do 3s really easy, which are not very good. 8 is the really good one. And I thought to myself, why am I such a 3 dignity index person? And it's because I work at a computer terminal all the time and I'll get emails and I know no one can hear me back talk to them. And I figured it out really quickly, but it reinforces the way you talk to other people too. So I'm actually going to train on it in the next few weeks and I'm going to give it to my students as their final. I thought, what a great way, instead of, like, it's like we talked about today, to don't just put tests in front of people. So that was really, really amazing. And then we had the last day speaker. He was the one who used to throw darts at a map and go see people who do wonderful things in the world. And just inspiring, and a couple other things, like I went to the one about students and how to involve the whole district and just learning stuff. So I hope to be able to share more of it with all of you. And I do have presentations and documents I can send to Stacy so she can forward them on to all. So thank you for supporting me going. Got a lot of conversation and stuff to do with people, so it was really inspiring. And we didn't have to ride a bus at 90 degrees this time. It even had a bathroom. I'll tell you, that was important last time.
Oh, no, I was.
So thank you for letting me go, and I hope to be able to share this stuff with all.
Thank you for going.
Anybody else have something to share? I love how everybody immediately looks down. No? Okay. Do we need an executive session?
Just super briefly.
Okay. So we are going to adjourn the public meeting at 7:15 to hear discussion on
Personnel.
personnel.
Specific personnel.
May I have a motion? Thank you, Chris, and a second. Thank you, Benny. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Okay, and just so everybody in the audience knows, as soon as we are done with our executive session, we will go back into public session and then we're going to close that. So nobody needs to hang around.
For your evening.